Hey everybody, my name's Chris. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to draw hands. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, I did a lesson on how to draw hands in my living room up on the big old pad of paper with the charcoal. And I really focused on gestures, how to draw hands with gestures. Today I want to take you behind the digital tablet. I'm going to show you a little more granular advice. And we're going to stick with gestures because that's how we're going to draw everything from now on. And I'm just going to, go into a little more detail with a few examples. So I'm excited to get started, so I'm going to dive right into it, okay? Here we go. I have Krita open, and I have chosen a gray background and locked the layer. So now I'm going to jump to my other layer with my charcoal pencil selected, and not quite fully black, but maybe something below. And let me make sure I'm on the right layer. Yes. Actually, I'm going to record this as well. So let me pull over my reference. I have these two pictures chosen out, and I'm using a program called PureRef. Maybe I'll do a dedicated video on it someday, but for today I'm just going to show you. It's a light software program that helps you with your reference images. It's going to float on top of whatever application you're using if you so choose to set it up that way. And yeah, I've got these just two pictures selected. I'm going to pick this one to start with. So, like I said, we're going to stick with our gestural mindset. And we're going to, let me tab over to full canvas here. So I'm going to look at my reference image. I'm going to figure out a line of gesture for it. And to me, it is as simple as something like this. We have a wrist down here. We have kind of triangular shape for the palm or back of the hand. We have a kind of circular swoop for the knuckles. And up above, we have those other set of knuckles that kind of swoop in the other direction. Something like that. And of course, a thumb that kicks out on the side. So that's my gesture for this hand. While it may not be proportionately bang on, we're going to get there. I think this is a great, fun way to start. Maybe I would consider this is done. Okay, cool. What's the next one? No, we're going to actually draw the hand. So here we go. I'm going to pop in some knuckles with some soft circles. And then my eyes are darting from what I'm drawing to my reference image and back. And I'm looking for proportions, like space between. How much space between should I be considering? And now I'm looking at the angle, the pitch of this first finger kind of comes up like this, kind of like our gesture. And the first knuckle up here is about there. The second finger below has a different angle, and yeah, that gestural swoop is far too high up. It's more like this. So I'm just going to rough in where the other knuckles are going to be. About there. And about there. Something like this, right guys? And then up top. Down here we have something that's a little more horizontal. And the same. And then this one just hides off in the darkness. So yeah, depending on your reference images, they're not all created equally. This one has nice dramatic lighting. Some of it's helpful for the forms, other not so much, especially when you're fading into the black background. Maybe this wasn't a great choice, but we're going to draw it anyway. And can draw some of those tendons down. Off this knuckle here, I see a tendon coming down, pretty much straight down. And then the muscle behind it kicks out. And then down again. And then behind that muscle is the thumb. Where's the crease? It's probably about here, right? The joint, I mean. That's a nice roughed in thumb. And it meets up with the wrist here. Coming back up, where's the some tendon here, here, here. And we have some more muscle coming off the side of this baby pinky finger knuckle. So I don't remember my anatomy all that well, so we're just gonna say the wrist comes down like this. We're just gonna draw what we see for now. You can do a little bit of hatching if you want. Other techniques are kind of wrapping the form with contour lines. Show you over here with the thumb how that kind of has a curve to it, and then maybe it's a little sharper down there as it kind of squares off. Let's come back up to this finger. See how the tops of the finger would be kind of like that, and then underneath be kind of like this. And I'm just going to indicate the fingernail a little bit. And the coming down. Same thing, it's hard to tell because a little bit of foreshortening, and the tip of that finger is really lost to us. Same with this one. So that's one layer. We can reduce the opacity 50-ish%. Go a little darker even, and maybe give a cleaner pass. Fix some things we didn't like. You know, the proportions aren't perfect, but it's got some life to it, right? I'll flatten that out a bit. And the thumb is really hugging in more. I want to emphasize the joint. By doing something like that. Because there's kind of like it's kind of what I was saying, like it's not a contour line really, but keep your line weights in mind. See the top of this thumb over here, I kind of left light because that's where a lot of the highlight is coming from on that particular part of the hand. Okay, second finger in. And it doesn't matter if it's perfect, right? I think the end goal is to maybe draw stuff like this from memory or from imagination. So if the more we do these from reference, the more we would become familiar with some of the shapes these things make. And we can start to draw these from memory or from imagination. So don't try to replicate. If I wanted to do that, I would take a picture of it. We already have a picture of it. Have some fun. Okay, here we go. We're getting close to finishing this one up. Okay. And now let's hide the one that's behind, so we can just see our final efforts. So that's a hand. That's a good warm-up for a hand. And takeaways. Start gesturally, work in the precision after. Let's try another one. I've got room right here for another one. Check it out. I'm going to do another layer though. A-okay. This one is hard to really nail down a gesture for because there's no clear line of motion. There's kind of equal weight in certain shapes of this design. So I'm going to maybe work with shapes. For example, easy to find that circle, right? Got where the finger and the thumb meet, kind of about that part of the circle. And maybe it flattens out here, kind of. The crease in the joint of that first finger is about 12 o'clock. And then we have our first knuckle there, and it comes almost straight down. We have another knuckle behind it, and that one comes even sharper down. We have a swoopy thumb. And the one joint is here, and the base of the thumb feels like it's around here, maybe a little lower. And then we have the meat of the palm. Kind of comes in like that before connecting with the wrist. we have this kind of motion. And now we have fingers kicking out over top of this donut. I'm gonna make it a little smaller. So first finger behind belongs to that knuckle. Its first joint is around there, then it flattens out a bit to around here, and then it has the tip of the finger, kind of like that. Behind it, maybe just behind its knuckle, we have its first joint there, and then it starts to come in more. It's still gonna run out of room. And then behind that, almost vertical in the other direction, just above this joint on the finger behind it, it terminates there. So that's a gesture. Let's reduce the opacity and try again. Maybe that circle is a little big, right? Look at that, the circle in between. Maybe we'll keep the top fingers as is and bump up the thumb a bit. So the thumb will be a little higher like that. Do we like where everything else is down here? Sure. Consider your planes. Yeah, see, we want this knuckle to be kind of in line with this flesh here. So maybe we drop the knuckle a bit. That's a little bit better, right? A little more accurate. And if that knuckle moved, then we'll move the other knuckle as well. Not much, actually. This one's kind of here. I'm drawing off the page, and that's fine. It's my drawing. I do what I want, okay? And everything's a little foreshortened and funny back there. Let's hide the other one behind it, see what we end up with. Well, not too shabby. And of course, if you wanted to clean it up even more, do a third layer on top, and you go with maybe a finer pencil or a finer brush. And you can play with contour lines like I was suggesting earlier to give it some more form. Like we have something like this kind of happening, right? See what I'm saying? Then there's the multitude of folds and such. I would say pick a few that seem important to you. But, you know, for the second drawing of the day, not too shabby. Let me hide this reference material and let's look at what we ended up with. So we have this one and we have this one. Not too bad. I'm gonna shrink this a bit. Slide it over. Maybe I'll finish off the tip of that finger. Then we have two hands on one paper. On one canvas. Oops. Okay, that was fun. Hope you learned something. It was a bit of a review of our last lesson where I like I said, we did hands in the living room. But that's it for today. Next time we're going to do probably again from behind the digital table. We're going to do most of our work from here from now on. We have a few more videos on my How to Draw series, and then we're jumping into a big project, which I'm excited to take you all on a journey with me for that. So, having said that, I'm going to thank you for joining me and wish you all a wonderful day. Take care.